Hey everyone, it's Amy of Dragonspit Apothecary. I am here to do our full moon reading. Tonight is the flower moon. That old saying, April showers bring May flowers. Well, this is the moon that's aligned with that. So, got some really incredible cards, and I can't imagine any other way to share this full moon with you than giving you the essential oil recommendations to support you in this time. So we have 5 cards that I've pulled, each with a particular meaning associated with this full moon. The first one I'm going to use is for the focus on this. So this is a message for what we need to be focusing on at this time during this full moon to help us emerge with some very positive actions in our life. And the card that came up for this when I shuffled them was Cassia. And this is the card for strength and confidence. I certainly have felt the need for some strength and confidence these past few weeks with all this virus stuff. But I think this is a really key card in a lot of respects at this time. So, Cassia is associated with intelligence, communication, and getting through straight to the point kind of business, right? So she's not going to fuss around with trying to sugarcoat anything. She's going to get right out there with what she thinks and do it with a grace that no one takes offense to. But she's going to make her point made. And a lot of times in life we have to do those sort of things, right? So, she kind of helps us get over this need for sweetness and sweetening things up and fluffing them up, right? So she's, again, kind of a straight to the point kind of gal. And lets us know that when, we often hear we're all dispensable, we're really not. And I know that's a real popular thing in the workplace to know that everyone is dispensable. A lot of us feel very dispensed right now with the layoffs that are going on. But this kind of helps us get over that know-it-all feeling so that we can work in a way that is productive and supportive to the situations we're in, and to find our right place. And to not feel like we are just disposable, because we're not. We own up to our mistakes, we take accountability for them, and we move forward in a very positive and productive way. And we don't become our own worst enemy as a result. We don't continue and sit there and beat ourselves up over it. So Cassia, obviously she's wise, she's confident, she's intelligent, she's well-read. And as you can see, kind of that librarian type picture here, but the books are really representative of how she can help others find their talents and abilities through what she knows about them and things in general. So this card is encouraging us to find our power, our stability, and to unlock what is inside us that is the right thing for us to be doing. And maybe it's something entirely different than what we're doing today. And to speak our truth, right? But to do it in a graceful way that, I often equate it to a good Southern woman who knows how to tell someone to go pound sand. It's kind of that old saying, bless their heart, and they don't know if that's an offensive thing or a good thing. It's that kind of mentality and that way to say something to get your point across and not be offensive about it. So Cassia, the affirmation we have for this and what we should be focusing on that time and trying to find our strength and wisdom behind that is that I make valuable contributions at the same time that I stand by my decisions. Okay, so that's our focus on card for the full flower moon. This next one, wow, I love this next one. At first I thought it came up in the wrong position because this next card is about what we need to release. And when I saw this card, I'm like, surely it's not indicating we need to release this, because this is something I think everyone needs. But when I really sat with what this card is telling us and I read the passage about it, I get it. And I think you will too. So we need to release rose. And rose, as you know, is the oil of unconditional love. So I don't think it's telling us to do with less love. I think it's telling us to release more intentional love. So, obviously, this is a highly vibrant oil. It's the queen of the flowers, which is appropriate for the flower moon, right? And it takes a lot of rose petals to make even a teeny tiny little bottle of rose oil. But it's a gentle oil and it helps in our communications and trust. And this is about our connection with others, not just on a lover aspect, but in general, everybody we're connected with. So when I again, at first I thought, oh no, it doesn't want us to do without love, right? But that's not what's going on here. This card is helping us overcome ego that is limiting love, presenting resentment, maybe some betrayal and hurt feelings that we can't get past to experience love. And it's asking us to release that. And Rose can obviously support that process and to not give up on love, right? This is that message. Don't give up on love. Release that stuff that's making you think that. And to be careful when you're playing with other people's hearts and emotions, because that's terrible. Okay, don't play around with that stuff. You don't play around people's money or their feelings. So obviously this is a supportive oil that's telling us in this message to release the things that are manipulative or all of the things that love is not. Let it go. Let some love shine into our lives, which I think right now, given the things we've been dealing with in this world, we could do with a whole lot more love and kindness, right? So this is obviously the card for unconditional love. And it's that balance between harmony and, boundaries and balance in our relationships. It's letting go of the past hurts and letting love shine through. And saying yes, being open and able and comfortable saying yes. Okay, that's a good one to write. So focus on releasing all that negative no stuff. It's time to say yes. Okay, affirmation for Rose is I encounter love in all my relationships and I love these encounters. I give out love and it is returned to me multiplied many-fold. So I'm so happy this wasn't to do without love. I'm so happy about that. So release the negative things that are holding you back from experiencing love. Okay, I think that's the message there. Okay, third card in the full moon, flower moon oil oracle card is to draw energy. And the card that came up for that was cilantro. I think it's interesting. This particular card comes up a lot in our full moon readings. Normally it comes up in that release spot, but this time it came from the draw energy from spot. So why I think that's interesting is that cilantro is about that detoxification of what we have let into our life that is maybe not healthy for us, and that could be a lot of things, right? Relationships, food, energy, you name it. There's a lot of things that could be kind of bad habits for us, right? And cilantro helps us detoxify from that and reset the baseline. So it's interesting that it wants us to draw energy from this in this full moon this time. Because again, it's about releasing and cleansing. That's a lot of what cilantro does. But I think it's drawing energy from being free of worry and material attachments, right? Draw energy from that. When you are not tied down with things and worrying and stress and overthinking stuff, you feel better, right? And you can draw energy from that fuels very positive momentum in your life. So I think this is a perfect spot for this card. Definitely a perfect spot in the times that we've been living in globally, to draw energy from that more easygoing lifestyle, the go with the flow kind of aspects that we can definitely benefit from right now. So this, of course, is telling us too, just like Rose did, let go of the things that aren't feeling good to you. It's not serving any benefit. It's time to bring that balance back into our lives. And we can get a little bit stuck in our own ways trying to control that, and we just end up making it worse. So when we release it, a little more smooth flowing things that feel good and help us be who we're supposed to be. And support what we need during that process, because it's not always comfortable to let go of that stuff. So this is telling us, been a little bit too rigid, right? Maybe feel like we've lost our way. And we've got to emancipate from the mental slavery that we are self-imposing on ourselves. I love that. I say it every time this card comes up too. It is advising us that there's healthier ways to be and to live physically, mentally, and spiritually. And we can draw energy from that and live some of our best time right now. So, a little cilantro. And I say a little because this is very strong oil. Affirmation is, I choose to embody freedom in all that I do, and I create total freedom by releasing what no longer serves me. So draw energy from that freedom, guys. We need it right now. And I know a lot of us been cooped up in the house, so we can draw some energy from feeling free. Okay, this fourth card in the full moon reading is always what is emerging for us. Now this is interesting too, because I find that this one coming up is a highly detox associated oil as well. And I have always associated it with support when I feel burned out or out of just nothing else left in the tank for myself and feel like I gave it all and didn't get anywhere kind of business. But it's actually got a lot more benefits than just that. And the card that is emerging for us right now is basil. Yeah, I love this. It's just a beautiful card too. So this is the card of relief and rejuvenation, and that is what is emerging to us right now. And isn't that enough after what we've been living through with COVID, whatever this stuff is? So ancient Greeks actually believed basil was the gateway to heaven. Okay, so it's the relief from anguish and pain, and generosity is replaced with that. And it rejuvenates our energy, allows us to keep going through stress and worry without it weighing us down, right? Because we got higher power in charge. The orange in this card is actually representative of the energy and movement that basil creates. Okay, so basil, of course, is assertive, focused, in charge, helping us make good decisions, allowing us to follow a purpose. However, it helps us overcome anger or that power struggle that can kind of come through when you're in that situation, following your purpose, maybe controlling it too tightly, okay? And it creates that power struggle. Basil is a thinker. So again, if you think back, we had Cassia in the first card that we should focus on. This is reinforcing that because basil is also an intellectual oil. And it helps with that mental fatigue when you're really thinking through something very challenging or working through a complex problem, and you know you can find the answer. You feel very empowered in doing that, which is what we get from Cassia. But basil kind of helps us keep that momentum, right, and be productive about it. It relieves the tension of that urgent, stressful situation when you're working through those types of things. So it is very good for replenishing the body, which I think a lot of us need some replenishment in this time, and encouraging us to help move forward with that work. And basil is, obviously associated with the divine, and knowing at the bottom of our heart, everything is going to be okay. And that little soft, it's going to be okay. I got you, right? That's what basil's telling us. And we can emerge knowing that. So this means we need to rest, switch our mind off, even though that's really tough right now for a lot of us. Fill our energy with hope and positive possibilities. Okay. Responsibilities are burdening us and they can be very stressful, especially when there's finances tied to them. And I totally get that. Let go of the struggle, get some rest. You will find a productive way to deal with that. Okay. So, Basil's affirmation: I am strong and I am courageous. And again, I think he goes hand in hand with that cassia that we had in that first one, that we should be focusing on our strength and our confidence right now, because we really need that. And I know a lot of people are in a tough spot right now. So that's very helpful. Okay. Message from the universe. This is our last card of the full moon reading. And boy, oh boy, did it just nail on the head with all of what we've been talking about today. This is Spikenard. I'm telling you, it's perfect. This is the card of wisdom and magic. We need this right now, guys. We really need it. So this is actually a very expensive perfume. When the real stuff is used in perfume, it's very expensive. Okay. This is a very valuable oil, and it has been for ages. You kind of see the ancient history on the card itself, right? Demonstrating that. So it's mentioned several times in the Bible. And again, this is a very historic oil. So the message from the universe on this, though, is encouraging us to leave our victim mentality behind, take responsibility for our actions, and move forward with our purpose. Boom. I'm telling you, that aligns right with those other 4 cards we just been talking about. It brings awareness of our circumstances and a sense of gratitude, and for what we are blessed with. And sometimes that is the capability to overcome the circumstances we are in. It is associated with our third eye chakra, enhancing the gifts of accurate perception and intuition. I mean, wow, seriously, right out of the book here. It is helping us when we feel out of balance. We stop appreciating and nurturing ourselves, which is pretty key when you're dealing with stressful situations, and seeking to receive it all from existing external sources without knowing that we too have to do the work to earn it. When we look outside of ourselves for reassurance, we find we are often rejected. And you gotta love yourself. You gotta have that self-assurance in yourself, because the world will kick you back and they will kick your teeth out while they're at it. So this is kind of helping us understand we got that power within us to take care of what we need, and to overcome the idea that we need anyone else to justify who we are, what we're about. But we are taking an attitude of gratitude in all miracles, okay? And to return to that balance of equilibrium in our life. So this is associated with the Egyptian god Thoth, and appreciation is every part of the religion in every part of the world. But Thoth is so much more than that. He is the god of knowledge, wisdom, meditation, logic, and reason. The god of magic, secrets, and writing. So this card is telling us we need to assess our constant need for reassurance. Magic is coming into our life. We need to open our arms and accept it. It's a gift, even if you don't think you're worth it or enough to deserve it. You are. This is an oil for healing and connection with your past life, your situation in your past life or current life situations. So, affirmation for this card, you need it, man, I'm telling you. I am the co-creator of my reality. I experience gratitude for everything I have in my life. That includes the challenges. So, wow. I don't know about you guys, but it has been very difficult few weeks to get through this virus thing, being uncertain about employment, being uncertain about financial future, a lot of worry, a lot of stress, a lot of concern for what the world's going to look like, when it's going to be safe. I think this is a perfect reading that we all needed to hear today. So I want to leave you with that and let you replay this video if you need to get this through, but everything's going to be okay. And we've got the power to take care of this in ourselves and overcome the challenges that we're facing right now. So I leave you with love and encouragement of that message on this full flower moon tonight. With much love.